Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Squares Crochet Along. Today we are making this diagonal granny square. It is sort of like a C2C. It is worked corner to corner, but it's worked with little granny square clusters, whatever you want to call those, like we work in a basic granny square. So we just work up and increase and decrease, so it is pretty simple and pretty darn cute, if I do say so myself. I love it. Had to make a practice one already, so I will have a double here. That's okay by me. We are going to start by chaining 4 and slip stitching to our first chain to make that ring. And then we're going to chain another 4 to count as our first double crochet and a chain 1 space. And then we're going to put 3 more double crochets into our ring as our first little double crochet granny cluster there. 1 more chain and 1 double crochet into the ring. And that is our first, this is our first corner. So now we're going to chain 4 and turn our work, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into this chain 1 space here. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and work 3 more double crochets into our next chain 1 space. And then we're going to chain 1 and put a double crochet into the 3rd chain of the starting chain 3 or chain 4 that we made there. Remember, because that first chain 4 counted as a double crochet and our first chain space. So we need to go into the 3rd chain. And there we have, I'm sure you can already see, it's starting to increase. So now we're going to do our 3rd row. We will chain 4 again and turn and put a double crochet, double crochet clusters here. So these 3 double crochets into each of these chain 1 spaces, and then we'll chain 1, 3 double crochets, whoopsie. So there's 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space, chain 1, and put a double crochet into the 3rd chain there. So that is how we are going to just keep increasing all the way along until I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows here, or however much you need until you get to your 6-inch square, and then we will start decreasing, and I will show you that. So remember, we're just going to start every one of these rows with chaining 4 and putting 3 double crochets into each of these chain spaces. And an easy trick to remember is, you see our first row had 1 double crochet cluster in it. Our 2nd row has 2. Our 3rd row has 3. Our 4th row is going to have 4, and so on and so forth. So get up to 8, and then I'll show you how we're going to decrease. There we go. So I made the 8 rows. My square is up to 6 inches, and we are ready to start decreasing. So here we are going to still start with chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and turn. But instead of working into this first chain space, we're going to skip it, and we're going to work into the next chain space, and we're going to put 3 double crochets into there, and chain 1, and work 3 double crochets into each of these chain spaces along, continuing with that same chain 1 in between them. And because this is now decreasing, we are going to have 7 of these little clusters along this row. Okay, where are we here? 2 more we need to do, because we are not going to do one of these clusters in the last chain space. Oops. So when we get to the last one, we've done our last 3 double crochets, do our last chain, and in this last chain 1 space, we are just going to work a double crochet. And you will see, so that is this is our corner, and now we're going to start decreasing down this way, and you will see our square come together as we continue that. So once again, start with your chain 4 and turn your work, skip this first chain 1 space and work into the next one and put 3 double crochets in there, and each one along until you get to this last one. So 3 double crochets in there, but then your chain 1 and just 1 double crochet into that very, very last chain 1 space. So continue that until you are working just like we did at the start, but your last one will be 1 little double crochet cluster, and then you'll finish off your square, and that will be it. So I will get back to you and show you that once we've decreased all the way. Sorry, I had to adjust my camera a bit as it fell, but there we have our diagonal granny square. We've finished our decreasing all the way up to just having our 1 little double crochet cluster there, and we finished off, ready to sew in all those ends and attach to the rest of our blanket. I absolutely love this one. This is a stitch that I would use to make a whole blanket out of and just keep going bigger and bigger and bigger, because I love these kind of corner to corner ones. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as I did once again, and we will see you next time.